Greetings, folks. Look, will all the mothers and fathers of Ireland please listen up now? I'm asking the question, do you want your son now to fight in wars for Ireland that has nothing got to do with us? Well, I certainly, as a mother, don't want my 15-year-old son being sent out to any country to fight in any war. Look, today is a massive day in the Dáil when Simon Harris is bringing and railroading a draft bill to the Dáil to remove the triple lock. Folks and parents of Ireland now, you need to understand that currently under the triple lock mechanism, it means that no more than 12 Irish troops can be deployed to conflict zones without approval from the government and the Dáil and the UN. This policy has been in place now since 2001, and it has been a key element of Ireland's military neutrality framework. Look, I believe changing this triple lock, what Simon Harris and Micheál Martin want to do to our children, is signing their death warrant. In 2013, Micheál Martin said that the triple lock is core to Irish neutrality. How can he come along now and change his mind and do a complete U-turn after getting elected into power? Look, people now are really coming to me now and saying, Michelle, what you've been saying for the last year is really resonating now with people. The penny is finally dropping. Look, I have huge questions now. I want to ask Michael Lowry one particular question. And I'm throwing it out there now for him to come back to me. Can he shed any light on what I believe that the last general election was rigged? Could he shed any light or opinion on what his thoughts on that are? Because, you know, I've done a pile of work now in the background that I've been telling nobody what I've been doing in relation to my own research and into the general election. It's 3 months now since the general election, and I can't get my hands on a copy of the marked register. Now, the Bill's office are only laughing at me on the phone, but I'm going to have the last laugh because I will not stop until I get it. Now, under the Electoral Act of 1992, there's a stipulation that after the 6 months of the general election, the sealed documents can be destroyed by the clerk of the Dáil. Now, we've 3 months gone already, and I am now on a serious mission to get my hands, before the 6 months is up, on these sealed documents, because these are the key answers now to where those ballot papers went in Turin-Cahill, where I saw were being torn out of the ballot book in front of my own eyes in that polling station. I have huge questions now in relation to what happened in the last general election. How did the same people get voted in again? People wake up. You know, it's not rocket science. How did Simon Harris top the poll? Helen McEntee? Think about this. How did the Roger O'Gormans get back in? How did the Norma Foley's get back in? Because everywhere I went, nobody was voting for them. Everyone was telling me they couldn't believe, you know, that the same crowd are got back in. And when you look back to the canvassing of these parties, the Fine Gaels and the Fianna Fáils, there was an air of complacency. But if this election was rigged, which I believe it was, because where are my votes? Where are the people that voted for me? Where are their votes gone? They're going to be accounted for now in the marked register, and I won't stop until I get answers. But, think about it. There was an air of complacency that these people knew they were going to get back into power. Now, if these elections were rigged, it took more than one person to do this, You know, I want answers. Who manufactures the polling ballot boxes? Who manufactures the stamp? that stamps the presiding stamp, that stamps the ballot papers? Who prints the ballot papers? Because if this was so well orchestrated, it took an almighty amount of people to come together and do this. This one person just couldn't do this on their own. And it's as if, you know, the last general election, you know, these people just were like told at any cost, I believe, we need to get you back in so we can do more carnage to our country. Look, when you see there in Ballymullen Barracks in Tralee, where the government, when I was falsely imprisoned by the Irish state, they sent down male migrants, because I suppose they had an ideal opportunity because I had staged 2 protests there before. And now we see some of these male migrants are working now for builders in Tralee, very near the army barracks in Tralee. Now, there's a whole vetting process in this country allegedly set up to vet these people. And how, if these are unvetted, how are they allowed to work for builders? Will somebody tell me that? They are getting free accommodation, free food and wages. What incentive is there for any Irish person to get out and work in this country if this is what's happening? Irish people, will you wake up? The days now of the peaceful protests are gone. I don't care whether they're being held in Belfast, Dublin, Knock, Cork, Waterford, Tralee, Killarney, Donegal, Derry. It's over. They're useless. There's nothing happening. The government are only laughing at them, you know. And then there's a few misfortunate people then being arrested, you know, after some of these protests. And, you know, that day is gone. This country will be finished, I believe, in a year if something isn't done really radically soon by the Irish people, where we need to all unite and go into government buildings or something and say to them, we've had enough, we can't do any more. Like, our opposition parties now cannot leave this triple lock be removed. If there's any good at all in them, they can't do this to our children. Look, you see there, the US now, their tariffs on China, on Canada, Mexico and China now have taken effect. And, you know, China now is taking aim at the US farm export in retaliation. Trump has passed a pausing military aid to the Ukrainians at the moment. Our biggest fear in Ireland is what Starmer is doing, because I believe this could have massive repercussions for Ireland. We're so near the UK. And, you know, there you saw Eli Lilly saying to Donald Trump last week that they're building 3 massive pharmaceutical companies, spending 28 billion to set up manufacturing plants. This is not good for Eli Lilly workers in Ireland, I believe, because if he's doing the tariffs now like he's doing with Canada and Mexico, and he starts bringing them into Europe, this is going to be disastrous for the Irish economy. And wait till you see the carnage then that'll follow on from that. And it'll be too late then for Irish people to wake up. You know, Micheál Martin is going over there on the 12th to Donald Trump. And I'm giving him one bit of advice. You know, just don't do anything to upset the integrity of us great Irish people who always liked having a fantastic working relationship with the United States, and not to do anything to jeopardise our foreign direct investment when he meets with Donald Trump. Because there's a lot of people, there's thousands of people in this country depending on foreign investment, directive investments, to pay for their mortgages, their kids' education and everything. And, you know, it's very worrying what's happening. But look, I'm asking again, anyone that voted for me in the general election, will you please email info@michellekeane.ie or send me a text stating your name and the polling station and where you voted for, because I am on a mission to find out where the great people of Kerry who voted for me, where are their votes gone? Gura Mila Mahagav.